In internal method Qigong, a lot of emphasis is placed on lengthening and releasing, and particularly through the lower gates and particularly through the hip and groin. So there's one exercise we can do which will then come in useful when we practice dancing with rainbows. So it really starts with shifting the weight. As always, releasing the knees, allowing the sacrum to sink. And then not rising and falling, holding the central channel vertical. We slowly shift the weight into the left leg. Now, I've mentioned many times that we don't want the knees to collapse in. We don't want to lose the integrity of the arch, so that when we shift the weight into the left leg, essentially we have to leave the right knee behind. Not only behind in that way, but if we look down at the knee, we can see that it's very easy as we shift the weight for the knee to draw backwards this way. And that's because we're creating I can't remember my geometry, we're creating a triangle with one vertical line, a short base and a longer diagonal, and that's the longer diagonal. This is the vertical line, that's the long diagonal. So in order to prevent the right knee creeping in or backwards, we have to lengthen that diagonal. And the way that we do it is to release through the right hip and groin, and that makes that diagonal longer. We open up the joint there and the soft tissue. Whenever we successfully and softly open something and create more space, there's always a kind of pleasurable feeling associated with that. Then, as we shift the weight across into the right leg, we allow this naturally to close back, and we lengthen through the left hip and groin. And we check how successfully we've done it by looking down at the left knee and seeing that it's neither collapsed in nor has it drawn backwards. So, now if we shift the weight back into the left leg and lengthen through the right hip and groin. Breathing out. I find that very enjoyable, and it's something I can get lost in for quite a few minutes at a time. I'd just like to say that I have no evidence for it, but my feeling is that this kind of lengthening through the whole hip area is absolutely fabulous for hip health. We know a lot of people, particularly in modern Western societies, develop hip problems and eventually need hip surgery. So how we can look after the hip and keep it in a healthy condition is really quite important. I don't think that it's achieved by extreme 100% stretching, because what we want is flow. We want the blood to flow freely through this area. We want everything to be soft and open. So when we release and lengthen and release back, and lengthen and release back, when we have managed to soften the fascia and the tissues, soft tissue around here, then I think we create optimal conditions.